Welcome back, guys, to another JZFishing video. In today's video we got something completely different. Today we are going to be kind of going over the ultimate Christmas fisherman's list, like a Christmas fisherman's want list, to help you guys. If you guys know any fishermen, if you have any fishermen in the family, hopefully this list will help you out. The way this list is going to work is it has 10 items, and we're going to go from the least expensive to the most expensive at the end. And if you guys are wondering where the striper video today is, we had some technological issues, so that's not going to be coming up today. It'll probably be up either next Monday or next Friday, so subscribe and click the notification bell because you do not want to miss that video. It's an absolute banger. But yeah, let's get into this video. Let's get up to the computer and let's show you the item. Alright, y'all, the first item on today's list is a fishing line. Specifically here I have braided line, and before I get actually into this list, I want to say that any product that we talk about in today's video will be linked in the description below, so if you are interested in checking out any of these items, go down in the description, it will all be there. So let's start here with fishing line. Fishing line is something, in my personal opinion, that I don't like buying with my money, so it's a great Christmas gift. And going to the new year of 2021, I always like to kind of refresh all my rods and reels, which means that I deep clean them, like I take them apart, I get all the little pieces of dirt and sand, and most of the time I like to re-spool, just to start out completely fresh for a new year. So buying new line for your fisherman or yourself is a really good Christmas gift. Here I got braid, and in this specific item you can have, there's a bunch of different colors. I have green, gray, plain black, sea blue, yellow, all these different colors, and then we also have different sizes, so we could do 40 pounds, 500 meters, 30 pound, 10 pound, there's a ton of different options for you guys. So go check this fishing line out and get some fishing line for your fishermen. Okay, next up on today's list we have a little bit more expensive at $21.99. We have fishing pliers and a fish lip grabber. So this is another thing that I don't really like to buy, but they're very necessary when you are fishing, just because they're a really important safety tool. So whether you're a bank fisherman, like a fly fisherman, a kayak fisherman, a boat fisherman, these are tools that you use on a daily. So first of all, we got pliers here. These are really high quality pliers. These can be used from everything to, putting split shots on, removing treble hooks from a fish, removing a hook from a fish that's been gut hooked. And then on the left we got these fish grippers, which are really helpful for you saltwater fishermen or the beginner fishermen. They help grab the fish, that way you don't actually have to hold the fish if you're uncomfortable pulling a fish. And then here on the right, as you can see, we have right next to these pliers we have this amazing case that we can then strap to our belt. So while we're fishing, we don't have to put it in a bag and have to grab it. While we're fishing, you catch a fish, you pull out the pliers from your side, and you unhook the fish. Another really cool thing too is, as you can tell, it has this little leash right here, so it means that you could attach it to a kayak. That way when you're kayak fishing, if something happens and a fish goes crazy in the boat, your pliers won't go overboard, they'll be attached to the kayak and won't fall. Overall, this is a really good product for any fisherman, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced fisherman, just because of the price and how usable it is on a day-to-day basis. Okay, the next thing on today's list is this fishing rod and reel organizing bag. This is something that I personally really want to get because it's just so usable and it's so cheap. At $39.99, that's an absolutely amazing price for what it does. Let me kind of explain to you what it does. So pretty much what this thing does is it is a rod and reel holder, so it transports your rods and your reels, as well as your tackle, and sometimes even a small foldable chair, as you can see in this photo. This specific bag can carry 5 rod and reel combos, which is absolutely more than enough. And one of the greatest things about this is that when you're transporting your rods and reels without this bag, one of the issues that you may have is when you get down to your spot, you have all your rigs tied on, sometimes the rigs kind of get mixed within each other and they completely make a total mess, which is a total pain to get untangled, especially when you're down at the fishing spot. It's something you don't want to mess with. So if you just put these rods and reels in these little holders right here, you get to the fishing spot, you unwrap the holders, and you're ready to go. It's also really easy to carry. You just put it on your shoulder and you can walk a long distance with it. As you can see in this photo, it looks very comfortable and it's very ergonomic. Overall, it's just a really good product. Pretty cool color. It's nothing that really stands out too much, and it's something that can kind of replace having to take multiple trips from your car sometimes to a fishing spot, or even sometimes to your house to a fishing spot. Overall, for $39.99 is an absolutely great product and is also great for anyone between a beginner or an advanced. Okay, so this next product on today's list is the PC Fun Line Winder Spoiler Machine. Kind of a bit of a tongue twister there. This machine pretty much is very simple, very easy design. What you do is you attach your fishing reel, whether it's a bait caster or a spinning reel, onto this little machine here, and then you tie your fishing line to you put your fishing line in this holder right here. And what you do is you just literally, you spin your reel. You reel it as if you were reeling in a fish, and what the machine does is it spools your fishing reel up for you. So when you used to have to spool up a fishing reel before this machine, you either had to do it with 2 people manually, or you'd have to go to a bait and tackle shop and have them do it with an expensive machine, or have them do it with 2 people. But now with this extremely cheap machine, you can do it by yourself, whether you're at the lake, whether you're at your workshop, whether you're at your house. You can do it wherever, because it's a very small machine, and it's very nice. As you can see, it only weighs 0.66 pounds, which is absolutely incredible, and it's a very simple design that makes sure that your line is very tightly packed onto that spool and is as good as you would be spooled up as if you were to go to a professional tackle shop. Okay, so the next item up on today's list is something that's more dedicated to people here fishing in the San Francisco Bay Area, but it can be used for people anywhere in the saltwater, really. This is a round crab trap. So right now, for me, we are right in the beginning of the Dungeness crab season here in the San Francisco area, and a lot of people are using these crab nets, or these crab traps I should say, to catch them. It's relatively expensive, $129. However, after a while, this crab trap will easily repay the cost it will to buy a Dungeness crab from your local food market. Dungeness crab are extremely expensive, and buying this one-time crab trap is a great way to catch your own expensive seafood. Overall, this crab trap is very nice. I've done a lot of research into which is the best, and this seems to be one of the best, especially for the price. What's also really nice about it is it comes with pretty much everything you need to get out on the water and do some crabbing. All you need to do is buy some bait. In terms of bait, we can talk about that in a different video if you guys are interested in that, but all you need to do is rig it up, get it out to the local pier or area of water, drop it down, and wait for those crabs. $129.87 is a pretty good price for a crab trap, especially right about now, because they're really popular demand here in the San Francisco Bay. So yeah, if you're interested in catching your own seafood, go down in the description and pick one of these bad boys up. Okay, so this next item on today's list is actually the one and only fishing rod and reel combo on today's list, and that's the Penn Battle 3 combo. I really love the Penn Battle 3. I personally don't own one, but Zach does, and I'm really thinking about getting one, and I've used it a lot of times, and it's just amazing. It's handled some huge fish already here in the bay. We've caught big stingrays, big sharks. It could really handle anything. We own the 8,000 size right now, which goes for about, let's see, right now, oh, it's not even available, so let's go with the 6,000 size. That should be more than enough. It's got a bunch of different options, but it goes for around, for us, I think we bought it for about 200 bucks. So it's a really great rod and reel combo for anything between saltwater and freshwater. Well, I would say if you're using it for freshwater, I think the most that you could use it for is probably catfish or carp. I would not suggest it for bass, but definitely if you're a saltwater angler, I've heard it's really good for tarpon in the Florida area. So if you're a saltwater angler or a catfish angler or maybe even a carp angler, you got to pick yourself up one of these Battle 3 fishing rod and reel combos. Okay, so for these final 3 items, they're all going to be kayaks, and I tried and made it so that there was the cheapest kayak, the cheapest, best kayak that I could find, all the way up to the more expensive, higher-end fishing pro kind of kayak. So for this first kayak, it's the Lifetime Tamarack Angler Sit on Top 120-inch kayak. It comes in at about a price of $400, which is absolutely insane right now for fishing kayaks. As you can see, very simple design. You got the seat right here, which is not the highest of quality seats. It's definitely not something that I would spend too much time in. As you can also see though, you have the dual rod holders right here, which is really nice. And then up here, you got a rod holder if you're trolling or if you're just drifting. Lots of storage. There's a storage cap right there, one also back there, and then there's also these 2 really nice string areas where you can put like a bag or something. This is definitely not something that I would suggest going offshore, too far offshore, and you could probably do pretty well offshore as long as you don't go out when it's too high of a swell or anything. But I definitely feel like this is a great boat for a bay, or for really, I think it really shines in ponds and lakes, but you could definitely get through with the bay, maybe offshore, I don't know, probably not, but as you can see right here, really looks really comfortable. Also, one thing to keep in mind, it's not something that I would spend too much time in because it doesn't look like it's one of the most comfortable kayaks of all time. There are definitely some things that you could probably do to kind of make it more comfortable, like kind of mod it a little bit. But if you're just buying it right off the bat, $400 for a kayak that can get you out in the water and do some fishing is an absolutely great deal. Okay, so now if you're looking for something that's a little bit more dedicated to you as a fisherman and less as a kayak, I would say, or like a kind of casual kayak, this is probably what you should be looking for. This is the Perception Outlaw 11.5 sit-on-top kayak. Now, right off the bat, you can already tell this looks completely different from the kayak that I just showed you. One of the biggest things that you see right off the bat is the seat. That's a better angle of it. Look at that. It's so much higher quality, and it's definitely something that I would spend a lot more of my day in. It's also more elevated off the top of the kayak, that we can get to see a little bit more, and you can kind of move around, I feel like, a lot more when you're out of the kayak instead of just kind of sitting sitting in it. One other thing too is just overall, you can see there's a lot more traction right here. This looks like something that you could probably stand on, and there is a good amount of storage space up here and in the back. One of the biggest issues though with this kayak that I noticed between the other kayak is I don't see a lot of rod holders. I don't know what that is. Maybe this is just me. Oh no, there are. Okay, so there are some rod holders there. And as you can see already, look at that. This guy's standing up in it. So if you're looking for something, especially if you're a bass fisherman, that you can do some big kayak fishing missions on, this might be for you. This also definitely looks like something that you can use as a inshore saltwater fisherman. I'm not sure about offshore still yet. You could probably do it, especially because it's 11.5 feet. But overall, this is a really, really nice beginner fishing related kayak, more fishing related kayak. And one of the really cool things is it comes in a bunch of different colors. There's the grasshopper, there's the kind of dapper, and then the dark green. So overall, if you're looking for a kayak that gets you a little bit farther out in the water and something that you can spend a little bit more time on, this might be the kayak for you. Okay, so for the final kayak on today's list, we're going completely all out. This is, in my opinion, pretty much the ultimate fishing kayak. This is the Old Town Sportsman Big Water PDL 132 pedal fishing kayak. Now let's kind of go over the differences between this and the other kayaks I showed you, because already you can see $2,599.99. It's a huge price difference between the $799 and $400 of the other kayaks that I showed you. So right off the bat, let's talk about the drive system. So between the other two kayaks, they were both controlled by a paddle, which means that you are paddling the kayak to give it force. Now with this kayak, not only can you use a paddle, but you can also use what's called a pedal drive. You can see it here. What it pretty much is, it's like you were riding a bike. You sit on the thing there, you put your feet on these pedals, and you pedal, which then propels this propeller, which can then push you forward. In the back here, you have a rudder that you can control with a little knob on the side of the kayak. So one of the greatest things about this specific kayak right here is you can fish effortlessly without using your arms to paddle you. So you can be kind of trolling around, taking cast. You can be, one of the greatest things about this is like you can be, piloting yourself up to your newest fishing spot while eating a sandwich or rigging up lines. So it's really, really helpful having this pedal drive. Also, this thing is 13.2 feet long, which is an absolutely mammothly sized kayak compared to the other two, which were, I believe, 10 feet and 11 feet. Also, tons and tons and tons of storage space. As you can see, this is something that you can definitely stand up in. Tons of rod holders, really cool colors, and Old Town is one of the most popular fishing kayak companies on the market right now, and this specific kayak is something that you can take bass fishing, inshore fishing, and deep, deep offshore fishing. If you looked up the Old Town Sportsman Big Water, you'll see videos of people winning fishing tournaments in the salt and in the fresh. It's overall a really, really great kayak. However, it is a bit pricey, so if you are looking for the ultimate fishing kayak and you are willing to kind of break the bank a little bit, this is what you should be getting. Okay, so that will about do it for today's video. I really appreciate you guys, all the support that we've had throughout the last couple of months. I should say almost a year now. Really helps us. So if you are interested in any of our future videos, or if you enjoyed the video today, please go hit the subscribe button. And if you are interested in learning a little bit more about us and our community, we held a live stream on YouTube. Now, it used to be on Favorite, but we're switching over to YouTube every Thursday from 4 to 4:30. So tune in, subscribe, because you won't want to miss that either. So yeah, we'll see you there. And until the next video on Monday, we'll see ya.